as you believe, so it shall be done unto you. Or, in simpler terms, whatever you believe, that's how it's going to be for you, and that's what you're going to see. You don't believe what you see. Rather, you see and experience what you believe. What brought this topic on today was there was a gentleman who made a post on Facebook, and I was reading it. He said, and this is not verbatim, the equivalent of modern man trying to get money today was man in the past going into war. So he viewed trying to acquire money or material things or land or riches as the equivalent of going into war, as going into a fight. Now, I would tell you that probably all the evidence and his experience in life will stand to prove that, because that is his belief, that is what he believes you have to do to acquire money, and his belief has been manifested in his world. Now, maybe you acquire money in a different way. Maybe you inherited money. Maybe you won the lottery, or maybe you love your work and you make a lot of money and you don't really feel like you're going into war every day. So for you, that's not true. But all of his experience, and if he shared it with you, would prove that in his life that is true, because that's what he believes. And thus, as he believes that, he creates or brings into his life situations to prove this to be true. Now, as a person grows older, if he has an open mind, he starts to understand that one person's truth is relative to his experiences in life. So just because your experience is different doesn't mean that what this other person has experienced has not been true in his life, and he can give you proof of why it is true. So what is truth? That is many times relative to which side of the fence you're on. I know some people believe there is absolute truth. You shouldn't kill anybody. That's an absolute truth. Is it? But yet we call people heroes. For example, the two gentlemen or the three policemen that apprehended or took down the school shooter in Nashville. And we consider them heroes. A lot of us do. But what if you took the same people in a war situation, which looked like some of these guys, those policemen, maybe had experience in war. Let's say they're over in Iraq or somewhere. Same scenario, except it's war, and they go into a building and they take down the other soldier. Of course, we look at them as heroes. But yet, the opposition, the other side, whoever we're fighting, doesn't look at them as heroes. And of course, the family of the man that they killed would not look at them as heroes. They may look at them as evil or terrible for taking away their father, the husband, dad. So what's true in that case? Are they heroes, or are they villains? Are they the darkness? As I said, it depends which side of the fence you're standing on. Someone steals, a thief. He steals from a rich man to feed his child who is starving to death. Is he wrong? World War II, Germany. You're a German who doesn't believe in the Nazis and what they're doing, and you have Jewish people hiding in your basement. The Nazis come knocking on your door and ask you if you know where there are any Jewish people. Of course, you have some hiding in your basement, but you don't want them to die because you don't believe that that is right, what they're doing to them. So you lie. Was lying wrong in that situation? Many people would say it's always wrong to be dishonest. So everything is not always so black and white as people like to make it out to be. Is there absolute truth? I'm not sure. I don't have all the answers, and I don't claim to. I just try to get people to look at things from different points of view, and I try to look at things at different points of view and get my bias out of the way. And sometimes that's very difficult. I was watching an interview on Valuetainment the other day, not with Patrick Bet-David, but the other guy. And the guy named Destiny was on there with the blue hair. I disagree with a lot of things he says. And I don't particularly like his outlook on life. But we have to, or I have to, separate my personal opinion about the messenger and listen to what he's saying. That's very difficult to do, to get your emotions, put your emotions aside and listen to his point of view. And not just take everything he says as something that's ridiculous because you don't like him, you don't like the way he looks. And we need to do this in every aspect of our lives. We'll listen to the message and try to disregard where the message is coming from, who the messenger is. That is, we'll call it a skill that can be developed, an attitude or personality character trait that can be developed, but you have to want to develop it. It is better to be, or to understand, than to be understood. I think that was a St. Francis prayer. To love rather than to be loved. Everyone wants to be understood. Everyone wants to be loved. Everyone wants this, they want that. But they don't stop to think that maybe they need to give that first. It's like the guy who wants the beautiful, loving, understanding, caring, nurturing, perfect girl, friend, or wife. But yet, what is he? How does he expect to draw that into his life when he himself is not that? He does not have those characteristics. That is not his personality. We draw to us what we are, much more than what we desire or what we want. We always have to focus on who we are first, instead of wanting to blame the world for our problems. Why are these problems being presented to us? Why are we seeing this? Why is this our truth? If I think all women are bad and they're all going to lie to me and treat me bad, why do I think that? How have I first treated myself badly? It's like the podcast I had last night with LDA, Lawrence D. Adams, the real Lawrence D. Adams. He spoke about that. Why is this here for me? What is this here to teach me? Where have I been bad to myself? Why have I cheated myself? And I asked him to unfold that, and what he said was, how am I cheating myself? Am I being honest with myself? Am I treating myself well? If I think I'm treating other people well, but then they're treating me back badly, am I treating myself, am I cheating myself out of things I need and giving them to the other person rather than giving them to myself first? Am I denying myself that I want this other person to like me, so I'm really giving myself and going out of my way to please this person? So I'm actually cheating myself. And then this person loses respect for me, usually a woman, and she cheats on me because I'm not being myself. I'm not being a real man, if that makes some sense to you. So we teach people how to treat us by first how we treat ourselves. What is the truth in you? What do you believe about yourself? If you don't respect and love yourself, then it's not too strange to expect or unusual, or you should expect people not to love and respect you, because that is your outer world telling you what you need to change about yourself. Because we can't see ourselves, but we can see it in other people. Everybody's a messenger, and usually your best or greatest messenger is the person who you feel has hurt you the most. You feel that has taken advantage of you, the narcissist. I see a lot of that nowadays about, oh, my boyfriend was a narcissist, or my ex-girlfriend was a narcissist. Well, what is it in you that drew that person to you? If they were treating you badly, have you been treating yourself badly? You probably were. And this person just came into your life to show you what you are doing to yourself. But that takes accountability and responsibility for yourself. It's so much easier just to blame everybody else. Well, they're just bad, they're mean. And then your friends, or your supposed friends, will tell you, well, you just didn't have, you need to find the right person. You'll meet the right guy or the right girl. You will never meet the right guy or the right girl until you become the right man or the right woman. And no one can do that for you except you. As the old saying goes, no one can do your push-ups for you. You have to do them yourself. It would be nice if I could get someone to go out and run about 5 or 10 miles for me today, and I would get the benefit from it. But it doesn't work that way, does it? So you have to be brave enough, determined enough to look within yourself, because that's where the answers lie, within you. And as I said, people reflect back to us what we are and how we think and how we treat ourselves. Now, it's good to have a mentor, because sometimes when you have a problem, you can tell that person your problem and they can just listen to you, and they may not say a word. And when you're done, you will know the answer, because the answer was always within you. Our education system mostly just tries to put information within our children to get them to memorize information. The word educate, I think it's educar, means to draw from within. You have all the answers, all the wisdom, all the knowledge you need within yourself. You just need to draw it out, to draw it from within yourself, to recognize it. And as I said, we recognize these things in other people. God is constantly speaking to you through me, through your thoughts, through other people, through circumstances and situations in your life. Some people believe, and I believe this, that God is all, He's in everything, or it's in everything. I don't really believe it's a man or woman, it's a thing. I think we should say it. That would be a good pronoun for God. I don't understand God. I think most of the texts that have been written throughout history have tried to explain something that is inexplicable. How do you explain omnipotence? If God is God, and I'm not talking about religion, if this power is the power that created everything or that permeates everything, how are we as human beings going to explain this with our limited vocabulary? I don't think it can be done. We've tried, we did the best we can, but since history has begun, or recorded history that we have now, we've tried to use human attributes, a jealous God, a punishing God, an angry God. If God is God, isn't He going to be a little bit bigger than my petty jealousy, envy, sloth, gluttony, all these emotions, pride? I believe He would be a little bit bigger than that. But that's just my belief. I could be wrong. If that works for you, your conception of God is your conception of God. My conception is my conception. It's just like if we both know the same person, it is the same person, just like it may be the same, I believe it's the same God. But we each view that person differently. We each have a different perception of that person, and thus we each have a different perception of God. Thus, all the different religions of the world. Many religions, many different perceptions of a power greater than yourself. And I'm not here to change you, whatever you believe in, whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, Islam, Buddhist, whatever works for you. I believe it all heads in the same direction. I'm not here to, like I said, convert you. I wouldn't know what to convert you to, because I'm not sure what, all I know is what works for me. I know that when I come to the end of myself, when I can't figure anything else out, I have to trust something other than this. I have to let go and allow things just to flow out and do the next thing, the next right thing, the next thing that's presented to me. I believe humans were made in such a way that if we don't act with integrity, honesty, to a certain degree, the best we can, unless it's saving someone's life. Like I said, there's gray areas there. we are made in such a way that we we punish ourselves, so to speak. Karma, what goes around comes around, you reap what you sow. So each man has to decide for himself what may be okay for you to do. I may not be able to do that, but for you it's okay. Does that mean it's wrong for you to do it? I don't know. That's between you and your belief in whatever that happens to be. Mine is different. Things I could do 10 years ago, I can't do today because they bother my conscience. We each have a moral compass. I mean, just forget about God if you like, if you're an atheist. We each have a moral compass. We get that feeling inside when we do something that we know is not right for us to do. It may be legal, it may be right for the biggest majority of people, but for you, it doesn't feel right. And the same is with truth. As I talked about the example of the Jewish people and the Nazis. Is it wrong for them to lie, a person to lie, to save the Jewish people's lives from the Holocaust, from the Nazis killing them? Is that wrong? Or is it justified? That's something you have to decide for yourself. I think it's the correct thing to do, but maybe someone else would think it's not. Many people during that time participated in all that, and they said they were just following the law. Well, there is a law higher than the laws of the land, and that is the law that we cannot escape. So when a person says my truth, there is some truth to that. Because as I said at the beginning of this video, we all see a different world, even though it's the same world. We all have a different perception of the world, even though it's the same world. Did you ever stop to think about it? The world you see is not out there so much as it is in here. You see that within your mind. You hear everything. Everything occurs within you. That's where you experience it at. And it occurs through all the filters, all the experiences of your life, good and bad. You perceive it through those filters. So the world you see is the world that it will be. Whatever you focus on in your life experience will grow. If you focus on lack, you will experience lack. If you focus on dishonesty, you will experience a lot of dishonesty in your life. If you focus on abundance, you will experience abundance. The choice is yours. And that's where your free will comes in. You always have free will to choose. No matter what's happening to you in your outer world, you have a choice on how you experience it. Thus, you're not a victim. Think about that. Contemplate on that. I'm out of here. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to go out and enjoy it. The sun's shining. Not a cloud in the sky. Take care. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.